House Budget Committee Chairman Representative Paul Ryan, with a lot of pressure on his shoulders to come up with a counter to this. Congressman Ryan, the president says he's cut over $1 trillion over the next 10 years on the budget. Is that enough for you?
Well, no, it's not, obviously. He's adding $13 trillion to our debt over the next 10 years after raising taxes by $1.6 trillion. The debt will double in 5 years and triple in 10 years since the president took office because of his budgets. Look, if we want to grow the economy today, Brian, if we want to get people back to work, you got to cut spending now and get this debt under control. Every big deficit today is tomorrow's tax increase and interest rate increase. It's hurting prosperity. It's hurting jobs and economy. If borrowing and taxing and spending more money in Washington was a secret to economic growth, we'd have it already. We'd have all these jobs. We don't. It's a serious threat to our country and our economy. And I'm just really disappointed that the president has basically punted on this. He's adding to the problem, not fixing the problem. And when he steps aside in the leadership vacuum, we feel that it's our duty and obligation to give the country a different idea, a different choice. And we're going to lead, and we're going to propose a fix to this problem.
Okay. Now, I know you don't want to give details, Congressman, but obviously a majority of the budget is entitlement programs, things like Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid. We've heard this morning that Republicans are ready to negotiate on that. Tell us what you can about what you're going to do.
Well, as our process works, we don't bring our budget till the spring. That's the way the federal budget process. But the drivers of our debt, as you mentioned, are these entitlement programs, especially our health care entitlement programs. And the thing we've been always arguing is the sooner you tackle these problems, the better off everybody is, the more you can exempt current seniors, people near retirement, and make changes prospectively in the future to get this debt under control. So the point I'm trying to make is if we balance the budget and get spending under control now, that helps create jobs and prosperity today and prevent painful austerity from hitting the country like you see in Europe. If you keep kicking the can down the road and procrastinating, everybody hurts, everybody loses, the economy, seniors, everything. And unfortunately, that's what the president's basically proposing to do.
Yeah, I understand that Senator Mitch McConnell calls it a huge disappointment. You expressed to us in the break right before you came on. It seems to me you feel the same way. But Jack Lew told us yesterday, this is just negotiating. It's a negotiating tactic. Let's get it on. Let's start talking. Is there enough here to talk about?
No. There's $1.6 trillion in new taxes, $13 trillion in more debt. What the president's doing is he's seeing the debt crisis and he's hitting the gas pedal and accelerating toward it. Look, presidents are elected to lead, to address the big challenges of the country, and the debt is the biggest challenge facing us domestically, arguably, in the history of our country. And he's MIA. He's just punting.
He wants you to be the bad guy. Do you believe that, Congressman Ryan?
I suppose so. You know, I guess so. I don't really care. We just want to fix problems.
Sure.
We see this problem to our country and our economy, and we think we need to fix it. If the president's not going to lead, we're going to propose alternatives.
Right. Well, one of the things that you guys are going to work on today is try to figure out exactly what sort of cuts you're going to make to total up $100 billion for this year that we're working on right now. Some have said, well, they'll negotiate something because they would never close the government down. Is a government shutdown, Congressman, still on the table?
Well, it's obviously still a possibility because the government ceases to be fund government agencies on March 4, and this is what this is all about. The president wants to lock in these really high spending levels, 24% increase in base government spending, 84% on domestic agencies when you count the stimulus. We want to pull back all those spending increases that he's trying to lock in. There's the impasse. And we've got the culture headed the right way here in Congress. We're debating about how much spending we want to cut versus the old days of just last year where how much spending they want to increase. To me, that's a great dynamic. We don't want to see a government shutdown, but we also don't want to rubber stamp these really high spending levels.
So it sounds like the president's budget proposal, debt on arrival in the House.
Yes, we like to say debt on arrival.
Debt on arrival. All right. Well, Paul Ryan, a Republican from Wisconsin, thank you, sir, for joining us live.
Thank you, guys.